Welcome to Excel Teacher Training. This is the beginner's course, so if you've never really used Excel before or you have used it a little bit but you just simply want to start from the ground up, then this is the course for you. We are going to cover in this introduction video clip looking at the layout of Excel, understanding kind of just what you're looking at, how to write data, and we're also going to have a look at how to just speed up that process of making a lot of data. In the next video clip, we're going to look at sorting data, adding style to what you're doing, and building tables. Tables are very functional. And following that, we're going to do formatting. Conditional formatting, and so that really helps you understand, we'll be able to see very clearly which kids are doing well, which kids are struggling. It's that color coding of everything. And also how to format data to get data to look exactly how you want it. After that, we're going to have a look at making graphs. And finally, the one that I know some people, well, quite a lot of people say that they struggle with is using formulas, just to make life a whole lot easier for you. So let's get into it. At the top here, you can see if you've used Word or PowerPoint or Publisher or any other Office program, you'll see that the menu up the top here is pretty much the same. Just got a couple of different extra buttons, but it's in the same layout. This is called the ribbon bar. The reason why it's the ribbon bar and it's not just your old menu is it does work in a slightly different way. You will actually see occasionally extra tabs pop up here and they'll be color coded. So if I was to insert right now a shape, you'll actually see straight away this formatting tab appeared here with the drawing tool. And so now it's here whenever I work on the shape and it gives me the specific menu items that I need to be able to deal with this shape. The second I click off it, you can actually see it goes away. So you'll see this change all the time. And when you see it change, it just simply means that there's a new set of options that are only available for that particular thing that you're working on. So do keep an eye on that. Across the top, you'll see the home, the insert. Now the insert's one of the ones that you will use a lot in any of the Office program, and home. They are really the two that you'll use 99% of the time. I also have this developer one, and you may not have this Acrobat one here as well. Don't worry about those. The developer one there is there for more advanced features, which we won't be covering initially, and you probably won't use initially with Excel. So, coming down here, now this is a little bit different. Unlike Word, where Word you click here in the main sheet and then you can start typing. When I type, you can actually see it appear up here. This is our text field here. This shows me whatever's in the cell here. Reason why this is really important is sometimes on Excel, what appears here isn't always exactly what it really is in the text field. So if I was to click here on B and I was to type my name, you can see the world has been covered over. But it actually is still there. So I know I just need to come along and you can see my mouse changes, and so I can just adjust it out. And there we go. And now I can see it. So you will find that quite often you will be typing up here as well. More and more as you get into more advanced features, you'll find that it's more useful typing up here sometimes than it actually is down here in the cell. Coming down to the bottom here. Down the bottom here, you've got this sheet 1. Now, sheets are basically just like pages. Excel can support more than one table or more than one page of data. So let's say I wanted to capture, to start with, I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to rename it and I'm going to say I want to capture all my maths data. Well, I can just type in maths, click away, and now this is where I'm going to put all my maths data. Then I say, well, wait a second, I want to capture English data. Well, I can click on New Spreadsheet, right click, rename, and type in English. And now I've got a space to capture all my English data. And you can see I can simply just swap between them. Now I'm going to go back to my maths data here, and we're going to start importing some data. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a line. We'll come back and we'll have a look at that in a second. That's just where our title's going to be. But we're going to start building some data here. So what's the first thing I need to capture? Well, I need to capture the student's name. Then they're going to do test 1, and it's going to be addition. Oop. And then we're going to have some subtraction, and that'll do. And you can see the subtraction's gone over the line here. Now I can move my mouse over and I can stretch it across, or I can just double click on it and it'll make it the right size. And that will do for the data that we're going to capture. So let's go ahead and put some names in. So we better have Chris and an Anna and Peter and Sarah. That'll do. And now we can go along. Oh, I can use my arrow keys as well to move around. And now I go along and I give them some data. So Chris got, let's say, 6 out of 10. And then he got a 7 out of 10. Anna got a 9, and she didn't do well in subtraction. She only got a 3 there. Peter got a 5 and a 4, and Sarah got a 2 and a 6. There we go. And now we've actually got some useful data. We can see straight away that we've got our names, we've got our table built, and we can see clearly how these kids are doing. As we go on, we're going to make this data be a lot more relevant to what we're doing. We're going to color code it. We're going to add in some sums that actually do some maths for us, just to make it a lot easier when it comes to marking. Now, I want to add in something extra. I want to come over here firstly. We better deal with the top bar here first. So, why did I leave the top bar here? Well, because I want to actually have a little title saying that this is my maths marks for the year. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click and I'm going to drag and highlight here. And then I'm going to come up to merge and click on merge. And you can see what merging does is it merges those 3 cells together. So now it's actually just one big cell. So now when I name it, and I'll call it maths data, it sits there just nicely in the middle. Now, I want to go ahead and add in one other thing. I'm going to have, let's say, a whole grade, and I want to list how many kids, the number of kids that I've actually got as well. And I know I can see down here 3, 4, 5, 6, but they're slightly out because that should be child 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on A and I'm going to insert a new column here. And I'm just going to start by typing 1 and 2 here. And that's really all I need to do, because now I just select those 1 and 2, and Excel automatically works out that I want to actually skip count by 1. So now when I come down to this little square here, you can see my arrow changes again to this little black plus. And when I drag down, you see on that little number on the side saying 7, 8, 9, it knows exactly how much to skip count by. So I'm going to take it out to 20. And now you can see that I've numbered my kids 1 to 20. I'm just going to go back, get rid of that, and change that this time to 5. So now you can see I'm skip counting by 4. And if I come down here, you can actually see that it automatically knows how much to skip count by. But let's say I wanted to take this one step further. Excel's smart enough that if I typed in student 1 and student 2, it still recognizes the number and skip counts me out. Oh, apart from I have made a mistake in my spelling of student on the other one there. Sometimes I type just a little too fast. There we go. There we go. And that now gives us 20 students. But as a general rule, when it comes to Excel, Excel is about numbers. It's not about the text that goes with it. So I would never recommend having a text and a number if you can avoid it in the same cell. Have either text or either a number. So I'm just going to move that back to 1, that back to 2, and I'll just copy it out for these and get rid of that. Now, also as well, what that means is, I know at our school we work on a star system. So if I said, well, Chris didn't get a 6, he got a 3 star. While that looks nice and easy here, later on when it comes to doing algorithms and actually using this data, that will actually become very, very annoying. You'd be better off just saying 3, and you know that means 3 star. So I'll put that back to 6. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of the first video clip. So have a play with that, and then when you're feeling comfortable with just making a table, adding in some data, and also making a new page, then start watching the next video clip. See you in the next clip.